So back when Gen 4 was released, there was the old Chateau, which was just east of where the second gym was. If you remember, there was the Rotom, the ghost and electric Pokemon, the plasma one, and later on you would find out that there was an old man ghost and a little girl ghost. And there's always been this controversy. People were always trying to figure out like who they were, who owned the old Chateau and why. Why was it abandoned? But there was always this theory that Rotom might have accidentally killed those two. And at the same time, though, it was the person who owned the old Chateau was also known as Mr. Backlot, which if you take a look at where the two places are, there's another newer manor that's owned by Mr. Backlot, and then he's like on the east side. He's on the east side of instead of the west. So yeah, the manor is to the west of where the second gym is, and then the manor is like on the other side of Mount Cornel, or whatever the mountain was that you fight Cyrus on top of, where Cyrus is actually guarding the from the spear pillar. He's like on the east side somewhere instead of on the west side. So it's interesting because what happened was, if Mr. Backlot actually packed his bags and moved out, and then the place was haunted, it would actually explain why that place was haunted, because Rotom was the one, and as well as the other ghosts, took it over and started plasterizing it and all that. But what's even more interesting, and I've never heard anybody else suggest this, is that maybe the people that actually were staying at that manor were also part of his family. So the butler and the little girl could have been part of Mr. Batlot's family. So if that's true, then that would explain why he was so terrified, not just from the ghost itself, but his family could have been killed, and he just wanted to get out of there before he was next. And Rotom, if you don't remember, even Team Plasma from Gen 5 was also taking an interest in it because of its ability to possess things. But like with electrical appearances and all that, it could change its time. There was even, I believe, I'm trying to think, like there was a diary that's kind of faded somewhere, and I think it's only in Platinum, and it's after you get the secret key, and you can go back to where you can change Rotom's forms with the appliances and all that. It says something about like they're saying we have to get rid of like something, we have to control like a particular motor, and they're referring to Rotom, the Pokemon, because if you don't know, you catch Rotom in the TV, and it's always at night, and there's more than one, and you can breed them so you can get more. Well, what's interesting also is, if that's also true, that would also prove that not only was Rotom capable of doing that, because again, electricity, and loose electricity is fatal to humans, it would also explain why the mansion itself never burned down too. Because it wasn't, maybe Rotom attacked people directly rather than it just causing fire and the manor burned down, because that's not what happened. It's just the manor was so old that it was just the interior was being destroyed. So that would also explain why the manor was still there, but then there was a new one built because they wanted to start over somewhere.